Hey there, change maker. Welcome to this tarot card reading, what energy to use from the upcoming new moon. It is a timeless reading. If you are watching this when it first comes out, we have a new moon coming up next week, and this was just the one Spirit really wanted me to do for you guys today, or you all today. And so go ahead and spend a minute to tap into your intuition. Hopefully the audio sounds better on this video. I went ahead and broke out my mic, so hopefully I will just keep making the video quality better and better as we go. So just take a moment, take a deep breath, connect into your intuition. And one of the things that I loved about pick a card readings is that it is a constant exercise in connecting with your intuition and then getting feedback, because you are connecting to your intuition, choosing a pile, and then getting the message from that pile. And you can really tell how you felt in different parts of your body and what your intuition felt like, and you just build up, I think, a stronger sense of trust. And you can also just kind of gauge, like, were you right with your intuition? Were you off? Did you need to choose a different pile? Or was that message really meant for you? And I just want to throw that out there because I watch a lot of pick a card readings, and it's just something that I really loved about having like a really fun way to develop my intuition on an ongoing basis. So just wanted to share that with you. Excuse me. Okay. Spirit definitely wanted me to just take a breather there. So connect with your intuition. This is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. And again, the whole point of this video is to connect you with the energy that you should use in the upcoming new moon. And this is to give your consciousness a focus. So as the new moon energy is coming up and as the new moon energy happens that day, this is the energy you can put into your intuitions, clearly, intentions. You can use it as sort of the main focus of how you are approaching the day and the interactions of the day. And clearly this whole reading is very strongly about intuition. So I really feel like that is Spirit telling us that this new moon, whatever these energies are going to be really helping you build and guide your intuition development. I was not expecting that to come out today, but here we are. So we're fully in the magic of life. All right, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let you choose, and then we are going to jump into pile number 1. Okay, pile number 1. So I just had a bunch of technical issues, and it was a little goosey. This reading today is a little squirrely whirly. All right, let's hop into your reading, because this is actually my 3rd try doing this. Pile number 1. First, I just want to point out that when I pulled your cards, you actually got 6 tarot cards. I was only intending on getting 5, and 2 popped out at the end. So I feel like Spirit and your intuition really wanted to really send a strong message. And I know that a lot of your tarot cards are in reversed, but all of these are cards about going internally. Now, the new moon itself is a time of turning inside. It is where, the moon is dark, and that's really a reflection of giving us this really quiet time. It's time to go into the quiet, dark spaces where you are and use your intuition. Now, your whole spread is about this internal look, going inside, and it's a lot about protection. So there is some confrontation that you have to do in there. There is some protection you have to give yourself in there. And what's really, really stood out to me about your reading is that your intuition is guiding you to look inward to give yourself protection. A lot of times we think of protection as this very externalized thing. We're looking for somebody else to protect us, some other circumstance to protect us. But this is really inviting you to go inside and experience that your intuition is the built-in armor that you need. It is the built-in protection. It is the built-in guide that you need. So, a couple of things really popped out on your reading. One, this is the goddess energy that I asked to see who is guiding you at this time and what energy are they really teaching you with. Let me see if I can get her to come into focus a little bit more. So one of the things that really popped out to me was this word fiercely, because we've got this lion in your tarot cards that is like roaring. There's this fiercely, you have a bow shooting into the new moon. And what that is really telling me is that it is time for you to strengthen and to be your own inner advocate. You know, there's a lot of times when it's easy for us to get into self-doubt and self-criticism and to hear that, you know, the negative voice in your head, and it can really become overpowering, and it can create a lot of insecurity in your actions and a lot of unsureness. And this new moon energy is about you going in to find your own inner strength and to start standing up for yourself. So when your inner critic comes up, you are this roaring lion for you. You are saying, I am my own advocate. I will not speak to myself that way. I will not let the critic speak to myself that way. I will not just sit by idly while this doubt eats away at my self-esteem. You are a roaring force, a roaring protective advocate for yourself. You may have some conflict in your external life, but you may have more conflict internally. And your angel card's really talking about this as well. You are protected from all types of harm. The worst is behind you. I ask you to relax and feel safe. So again, that to me is saying, maybe it's your inner child, maybe it's addressing your inner critic, maybe it's addressing all of the things that you feel self-doubt around and that you're questioning. Like, you need to look inside and say, you know what, I'm good enough. I can protect myself. I can stand up for myself. I can use my voice. And that starts with how you speak to yourself. That's where that originates from, right? And when we talk to ourselves and we talk back to the inner critic, it's easier for us to talk back to the people in our lives. It's easier for us to advocate for ourselves externally when you already are practicing advocating for yourself internally. Now, in your Moonology cards, you have faith in your dreams and luck is on your side. This is another one of those cards that I just felt like really stood out to me. Like this bow shooting the new moon. I'm like, this is really your consciousness. You are capable. You are enough to protect the newness of your life. Like whatever intentions you have, whatever dreams you have, whatever desires that you are trying to manifest, like you are enough. You understand how to protect yourself enough. So use that energy of protection during the new moon. Use that when you go out and engage with the world and you feel your inner critic come up. Use that inner advocate. Be like, no, I got this. I know what to do. I trust myself. I understand that if I follow my intuition, I follow my inner guidance, I'm going to naturally choose the right path that takes care of me. And to have faith in your dreams also is just like, you're budding. There's something beautiful emerging in your consciousness, in your beingness, in your life, and you are the gardener and the garden. You are the thing that is budding and coming forth, a beautiful flower blooming, and you're also the gardener protecting that thing. So this is really your consciousness is really blooming. Your intuition is really, really, really strongly guiding you during this new moon. So trust that, believe in that. And the more that you allow that strength to come out, the more that you strengthen your inner advocate to come against your inner critic, you're going to really, really watch yourself blossom in life, and you're going to understand your own internal wholeness and your own internal capability for caring for yourself, for properly protecting yourself, for creating security for yourself. And it's a really, really, really special gift. So I am so excited for you. I would love to hear what your story is. So if you'd like to do that, please leave it in the comments below in pile number 1. This is what I see for you today. If you like this reading, please don't forget to click subscribe and like. If you leave a comment or share the video with somebody you care about, that really helps the channel grow, and I super appreciate that. And if you would like personalized one-on-one care, I am a spiritual mentor, and I love to integrate tarot card readings and astrology readings to really help you unlock your soul's potential so that you can be this magnificent change maker in the world. Pile number 1, until next time, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Okay, pile number 2. So the first thing I just want to point out is that I asked usually for one goddess card that's like guiding you, protecting you, giving your, a certain kind of energy for you to learn from in your life, and you got 2. So that was pretty cool to see that come out. So you actually got 6 oracle cards today, and you have 5 tarot cards. When I look at your tarot cards, I just want to say that you've been going through a tough time. This is just you've got a lot of disappointment, conflict, you've had these dreams that just aren't coming to fruition. There's been a lot of sadness around that, and feeling lost and isolated and not understanding why the inspiration you have has been so hard to come to fruition, and that you feel like you have to battle the world. So first I just want to really acknowledge this has been really hard. It's been really hard, and my heart goes out to you for that. When I look at the combination of what's happening in your tarot cards and then what your oracle cards are talking about, it's kind of interesting. So it's facing all of these disappointments and things, but really there is a gift coming in this new moon, and that gift is compassion, clarity, and the ability to transform energy, the ability to take negatives and recycle it into something positive. So let's look at your goddess cards here. This is the first one, and she really talks about seeing the light in the darkness and facing the ego beliefs to be set free. So whatever you've been really dealing with in your life, this is an invitation to look at your limiting beliefs, to go beyond the sadness or the disappointment or the frustrations that you have in life, and to transmute that energy into something beautiful and positive. So instead of just looking at it from, I'm a human and this is my up close and very close view, I'm going to instead step back from that whole story, get a 30,000 foot view, use my heart space and ask myself, what am I really learning from this? And how can I really guide myself through this? It's about being in those places of depression or being in those places of frustration and not necessarily hopelessness, but being in those places where you're just you really want things to change and they're not changing. And then you have these breakthroughs where you realize that you are your own light, that you can still have joy, that you are still whole, that you are still worthy, that you are still a radiant, beautiful human being, regardless of what the circumstances of your life are. So the green Tara is about my soul informs every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. So it's like your goddess energy is asking you to basically be the light in your own life. Yes, you have these things around you, but ultimately everything is in transition. These problems won't be with you forever. They're temporary. And so you are the kind of soul, you are the kind of being on the planet that can take these kind of energies and transform them through love. Transform them through the things you know from your spiritual seeking. So whether that is whatever spiritual background that you enjoy learning from, take those principles and then apply that to your situation in life. So say one of the principles I have in my spiritual repertoire is called decharging, where you have a lot of negative feelings in your body, and then you use natural elements like rocks and flowers and water and fire, and you get the energy out of your body through decharging it. That's just one example, right? So you do that for yourself. You're going to take this negative energy during this new moon time, and you're going to get it out of your body, get it out of your mind. You're going to detach from the situation. And then when you look at the situation again, you bring love into that. You bring that divine love, like, oh, you sweet baby, you've been having such a tough time. Let me look at your problems. What's going on? What do we need? Oh, I see that, we have a little block here, we have a little block there. That's okay. We can love even the ugly parts of ourselves. We can love even the challenged parts of ourselves. So you are detaching from the problems, you're detaching from the situation through your spiritual practices that you know how to do, whatever they are, and then you are readdressing the situation from a space of divine love, unconditional love, from a space where you are so fully in your heart. You're not attached to the outcomes of what happens with the human. You're just looking at it. Like a mom, her little kid brings her a problem and says, hey, I can't open this thing. You don't sit there and say, well, why don't you have motor development? And why don't you can't do this? And why can't you? No, she just says, hey, okay, let's look. What problem do you have? Okay, you can't open the bag. Yeah, I can understand that. Your hands are very tiny. Okay, I get that. Here, well, let me help you. This is all to say that you're going to have very big emotions and very big feelings around the situations that you have. And they may be very valid and real because we live in a very 3D manifested world. And at the same time, the new moon energy is one where it's going to give you space. It's going to give you some clarity. So the space between being the little human that's having a hard time figuring out how to solve these problems and getting over the feelings of disappointment, to transmuting that energy through your spiritual practices, coming into that space of heart, of love, of higher perspective, and then looking back onto the problems, and then looking back onto the situation through that lens of love, through a bigger perspective. All problems ultimately are temporary. Nothing is going to last forever as a problem for you ever. Like, there's already a version of you that's figured it all out. There's already success in your life. There's already a time and space when all of this stuff is resolved, and years from now you literally are just going to look back and say, that was a difficult time in my life, but some parts of it were defining and a lot of it I forgot about, right? So that's really what your spread is saying here. So again, it's hard. Big hugs. Love you. You're whole. You're worthy. You deserve to have whatever resolution you need to these issues, and now is the time to implement your spiritual practices that you know. If you don't know them, I'm a spiritual mentor and healer. Reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you be guided through some of those practices. You can find me everywhere on social media, and also I have a one-on-one program, one-on-one mentorship, where I really help people dive into this stuff. So if that's what you want and you need additional help, I'm here for you. Otherwise, take your spiritual practices, transmute the energy. You know how to do this. Your cards here show me that you have already been through similar things enough times that you have enough manifested capacity to do it for yourself. And so once you get that detachment, you get that 30,000 foot view with full of love, you're going to be able to handle this and see this from the perspective that you really need. And that is the energy of the new moon for you to really use during this time in your life. If you liked this video, because that's all I see for you, pile number 2, don't forget to click the subscribe button and leave me a comment below and share it with somebody that you love and care about, because it really helps the channel grow. And again, if you want to dive more into the spiritual practices, I am a spiritual mentor, and I do offer one-on-one mentoring for people who want to be change makers in the world and want to unlock their soul's potential. All right, number pile 2, until next time, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Okay, pile number 3. So this, surprisingly to me, is a relationship reading. And it's not like, a moving forward relationship reading. Well, let's just dive into it. All right, so in your tarot cards, we have a lot of this sort of discussion about in the past you were feeling very held back and insecure about your actions. There's potentially a karmic relationship that you have had, and there's been fighting with it. It's caused you insecurity. It's, you've wanted this peace and harmony to come into this relationship, and it's like it never just worked out. Like there's always this sort of transformation for you or the other person that just never happened. So it's interesting because it's almost like what has ever happened in your past, in this new moon energy, this is the time to let it go, to forgive, and to move past it, because the thing that you've really wanted out of a relationship, whether this is a family relationship, a work relationship, a romantic relationship, whatever that intention is, victory is so close. It's so close for you. It's almost right there. Here we see the Ace of Pentacles. We've got Omega, which is this victory. It's like you have come to a close with maybe a pattern of how you act in relationships. You have identified it, you've done the healing work around it, you have found the meaning to it, you have resolved it, and when it comes up in your life again, you're able to just pass that test with flying colors. And because of that, now this new aspect to relationships has opened up to you. Now you get to experience yourself as this new version that you have worked really hard at getting. Now your Goddess card, I love this for you. Your Goddess card, I'm trying to get this all right. This is your Goddess card, and this is all about joy. So you have the Goddess of Joy. She's coming through to bring you joy. Her message is, I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. This to me talks about your personal self-mastery, and that the goddess energy that is guiding, protecting, and putting her energy into your life is one where you know yourself so well that when your own sort of habitual blocks come up, you're like, oh, no. I am not acting this way in relationships again. I am not saying these things again. I know that the correct way through is through XYZ. And that's really what I see for you. It's pretty cool, actually. Now, if this is in regards to a romantic relationship, it's like you spent a lot of time choosing the same kind of partner over and over and over again until you were like, oh my God, why am I doing this to myself? And you've gone on that self-love journey. And now when you go out there to choose another partner, you get your Ace of Pentacles. Like, you get your person, because you're no longer who you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You no longer are who you were 2 years ago. You have, even 1 year ago, like, you have matured, you have mastered these things, you know the things that trigger arguments, you know the things that trigger your insecurities, and you've done so much healing work around all of this that now you get that prize. And that prize is someone that loves you as much as you love yourself, in the most healthy possible way of that phrase meaning, right? Like, you're not egotistical with yourself. You have a genuine self-love. You have a genuine self-nurture. So the partner that you're attracting now reflects that same respect you have for you, reflects the way that in the ways that they talk to you, and the ways that they express their love for you. Like, you're in such a healthy place, and you have mastered and accomplished so much in this particular area of your life that you really can let the past go. And that's really what Spirit wants you to know about this new moon energy. It's like, it's telling me, like, you need to acknowledge, sit down and actually acknowledge and look at how freaking far you've come. You have come so far. You've come impressively far, right? Like, you have accomplished so much in this area, and sometimes we don't stop and just say, wow, like, I've healed so much that I forgot these things even used to be a problem. I've healed so much. Look at everything that I have poured into myself, every journal entry, every moment of awareness, every investigation of my triggers, every ounce of effort I put into being the healthiest, most whole version of me. Like, you did that. That's huge. That's huge. So that's the new moon energy inviting you to really focus and appreciate that you've done all that, because it has given you the victory you want. Whether or not that person's fully manifested in your life, you're now the kind of person who would naturally attract that partner, who would naturally attract those friends, who would naturally attract those work relationships, who would naturally attract healthier family relationships. Like, you've done it. So friggin' good job. Like, good job. This is a lot. This is what I'm seeing for your reading, but I want you in this new moon to just soak in this energy. Like, this is your energy. Congratulations. You are crushing it. You're doing so good. Let's see if I can get some of the lights to not shine off. Like, your victory. This is your victory. This new moon is your victory, and congratulations on that, because that is freaking awesome. That is awesome. All right, pile number 3, that's what I see for you. You have just like a super straightforward pile. If you like this reading, please click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment below, and share this with somebody you love, because it really helps grow the channel. It's free. If you want more spiritual guidance in your life and you want to dive deeper as a change maker to make a impact on the world and unlock your soul's potential, I am a spiritual mentor and healer, and I really help guide people through my spiritual mentorship program. So check out the description below to learn more about that. And I am so excited for you and so proud of you, and I genuinely hope that you take some time either today or on the new moon or whenever it's good for you to really sit down with a pen and paper and write out your accomplishments and just sit with that. Sit with that feeling of goodness, because you deserve it. I, as somebody who has been doing this work for 20 plus years, I have such a deep respect and appreciation when people do this, because it's not easy. Surprisingly, not a large amount of people do it, and it literally changes the world. It's a really, really special thing to do. How we show up in the world affects everybody around us, affects who we engage with, and I'm just so freaking proud of you. So I hope you spend some time and really appreciate that about yourself. And until next time, pile number 3, sorry the camera went fuzzy, I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day.